Hello everyone, so today I have another rapid fire reviews for all of you. So of course I do these rapid fire reviews when I get a little behind on my movie watching for the year. So most of these are straight to streaming movies or things, theatrical releases that I just missed out on earlier in the year, and now I'm finally getting to them. So of course I have 4 films to cover, as I always do. Just my basic thoughts, synopsis, and of course too would I recommend it or not, and my overall score. Very, very quickly, I go through them, and the 4 movies I have today are Green Lantern, Beware My Power, the Bob's Burgers movies, Don't Make Me Go, and RRR. So without further ado, let me get into my review for all 4 of these films. So yes, let's get into it. So the first film I have is Green Lantern, Beware My Power. So this is an origin story in the new, of course, DC Universe animated movies saga that they have going on. I haven't really been all too impressed by what they've done so far. But this one is about John Stewart's Green Lantern and how he is able to, again, become a Green Lantern. The Justice League has already been established. Sinestro has been established. Hal Jordan's been established. But of course, this is about recently discharged Marine Sniper John Stewart. He's in a crossroads of his life, one which is only complicated even further by receiving the Green Lantern ring, which grants him powers of the Green Lantern of Earth. So he gets this ring from Hal Jordan, which of course sends the Justice League in a spiral of confusion and of course just panic about what happened to Hal and is he dead? Again, just why does John Stewart have this ring now? So I do want to say that in terms of a John Stewart origin, who is my favorite Green Lantern, this isn't good for him. He easily gets overshadowed by everyone else that's in this movie. From Hawkgirl to, of course, Sinestro to Green Arrow, definitely has a very, very big role in this film. I just felt like he was sidetracked in his own movie, and there's been so many better versions of John Stewart's origin that's been done for years and years and years and years already. So this one just felt like a big letdown in a lot of ways, in all honesty. It did have some great action sequences, and also, too, it has a very, very good story at the core of it that has just some really great just political espionage and of course too just political stakes within the DC universe that I thought was really, really good. It does move really fast for a movie that's 90 minutes long, and again it covers as much as it can, but I felt like again it just left so much out and just flash through a lot of things. You do definitely need to know a bit about, of course, just how Jordan and Sinestro's conflict. They do a decent job explaining it, but it's just really brushing over in the form of jokes. So for anyone who's not really versed in the Green Lantern knowledge, this movie fast forwards through a lot of things that I found. I mean, I like it when some films do that, but I found it actually hurt the movie in this case, and again, just left John Stewart feeling sidetracked in his own movie. So yeah, with really everything taken together, I'm gonna have to give Green Lantern River Power a 6.5 out of 10. I really only recommend it if you're a big Green Lantern guy or a DC guy like me. There's just not really a whole lot to keep one entertained throughout the entirety of this movie or make anyone want to watch it again. So the next film I have is the Bob's Burgers movie. I actually have never watched a full episode, at least that I can remember, of Bob's Burgers, but I heard really, really good things about this movie. I heard you didn't really need to know too much about, of course, the show to get into it. So I thought I'd watch it. It's on Disney Plus now. It is about an hour and 45 minutes long. So it is about the Belchers, who try to save their restaurant from closing as a sinkhole forms in the front of it, while their kids try and solve a mystery that could, of course, save their family's restaurants. So there's a murder, basically a giant sinkhole opens in front of the restaurants while they are trying to just sell as many burgers as they can to pay off a loan. Of course, the sinkhole doesn't help, but it doesn't help even further when the kids discover that there is a dead body emerging in the sinkhole, and they try and solve the mystery to again just get enough money to money, publicity, things like that, to help their parents keep their restaurants alive and open. So that's kind of the basic plots of this movie, and it expands to something a lot further than that. And the show is weird, but it's so funny. It has a lot of heart. It's so goofy. It's just the quirky, awkward humor that I really, really like, that gets me a lot. It's definitely made me want to get into the show. But one thing I have to applaud this movie for is that the original songs that are in it are actually really, really great. And I found myself rewatching this film not too long afterwards. Of course, I thought the humor was great, but it's mostly to listen to the songs again because they're really, really fun, and just have a lot of humor and heart to them, and they're actually performed really, really nicely. They make really great use of the voice cast throughout the entirety of this movie. It's absolutely hilarious, and again, even though it's super weird, I do have to recommend this to anyone who's like me, who's never seen Bob's Burgers before, where this is just a fantastic movie, and it made me happy, smile in a lot of ways. It's really easy to binge and get through. And yeah, with everything taken together, I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite animated movies of the year, and yeah, just something I can easily recommend to anyone who likes Bob Burgers. I mean, I hope it goes down the line of what the shows is, because if it's anything close to what this movie was, I think it's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, just do really recommend this one. So the next one I have is a film you'll find on Amazon. It is about an hour and 50 minutes long and is called Don't Make Me Go. It stars John Cho and Mia Isaac, and it is about a single father trying to open up to his teenage daughter after he learns that he has a fatal brain tumor. He takes her on a road trip to find the mother who abandoned both of them, but mostly the daughter, for years, and try to teach her everything she might need over the rest of her life. He, of course, keeps this a secret from her for the most of this cross country road trip that they go on. And there are lots of cliche and nuanced things that happen in this movie, but I did find the humor and some of the messaging about, of course, too, just being a father, being a daughter, and of course, finding one's own place in the world is very, very well done. John Cho's hilarious. There is a lot of things that I did like about this film. Even though, again, it is generic and extremely predictable, I did have my fun with it. My main gripe with it, and I find that a lot of people are going to have the same kind of reaction to it, is that the ending of this film does something that feels like a major cop out in terms of you feeling something. It feels like a left, well, I don't even want to say a left hook, but it feels like a punch that comes completely out of nowhere that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And again, just felt like a cop out to make people feel sad or cry, and just I didn't really feel like it held too much weight, or it deserved to again be in this movie. And I feel like a lot of people are going to feel the same way. Again, it is good. It made me smile a lot of times, but I found extremely predictable, bland in a lot of ways, very generic. It doesn't really do anything new for the father daughter or just really any kind of road trip movie. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 6 out of 10 overall. It's decent. I think it's worth a watch if you like these kind of films, but again, it's not really gonna do anything new for the genre or for you. And the last film I have now is RRR, or known as Rise, War, Revolt. This is a long movie. It comes in at over 3 hours long. You'll find it on Netflix, but it is a fictitious story about two legendary revolutionaries on their journey away from home before they started fighting for the country in the 1920s in India. This film, my God, it blew me away. I started to hear a lot of hype around it, especially after it went on Netflix. Some people calling it a must-watch film of the year, and I do have to say that I agree with that. It is extremely well done and something pretty different from what I've seen in the past. I haven't watched too many Hindi or, of course, just films from India in my lifetime, but this one was something very, very special in a lot of ways. It has extreme, I want to say the way that I could describe it is like Fast and Furious style action, but without the cars. It's extremely over the top, but it's something that's absolutely awesome, where you just had people pick up like motorbikes with one hand swinging around and knock over a bunch of dudes. Like, it's that kind of action, but I found it's was hilarious, and again, just super awesome to watch. Again, extremely goofy, but awesome if you're just taking it, like, you turn your brain off a little bit and listen to the context of it. But I found that a lot of the times this movie felt like it didn't really know what it wanted to be, or it just felt like it was swapping genres a lot of times, because of course it deals a lot with the British just colonization of India. And there are some amazing stories that are in this, some great acting, and of course, too, I love the two main characters have an amazing and just very heartfelt story, and especially one of them has an amazing, well, all of them do have an amazing backstory to them. The writing's really, really good, but I did find a lot of the times that, again, this movie didn't know what it wanted to be in terms of like the genre, where there's moments where it is absolutely extremely dark and heartbreaking, depressing. It really gets into, again, just how terrible colonization was. And it's brutal in a lot of ways, but then again, you get these crazy over the top fight sequences, action sequences, dance sequences where it's super happy, but then all of a sudden, like again, just out of nowhere, in a way that feels out of place, it just changes again its tone. And I felt like if they would have stuck into the darker tone of the film, this could have been something. I mean, I still think this again is one of the best films of the year. It's really, really good, but it could have been something even more special in a lot of ways. Again, so over the top. I love the acting. I love the fight sequences. It's something that I'm definitely going to watch again, even though it's 3 hours long. It's a crazy, absolute wild ride, but I enjoyed again every second that I watched of this film. It has really, really good characters who have amazing backstories to them. Writing's absolutely fantastic and phenomenal, and I highly recommend this film to anyone, really. It's just very, very good. So I'm gonna have to give RRR or Rise, Roar, Revolt an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely high up on my list of best films of the year, and I'm excited to watch again. I'm excited to just find out about more people watching this because it is very, very good, and I do think it deserves the spotlight that it's getting right now. So, of course, if you've seen any of these 4 films, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Of course, if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up. And you can check out everything I do on this channel through the playlist down below. I'll link some top here for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing. Turn that little bell on so you know when I upload new videos. If you want to check out everything I do live, Twitch and live stream wise, there is a link to that in the description of this video, and of course my channel bio. And both of those places is a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord, where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. So you can definitely join that amazing community, help make it even more amazing than it is already. And yeah, just awesome, guys.
Sky blue eyes, I see a world behind them. No more time sinking into the side.